Hello, I'm Chris Sanford. Welcome to Fishing World. Now it's time to see what carp specialist Iain MacMillan found when he visited the beautiful Wellington Country Park.
We're here to talk about the very essence of carp fishing, and I suppose there's lots of things that go into that bracket, and it's not just about catching big carp, it's about getting absolutely soaked through to the skin whilst fishing and being sunburned when it's really hot and all those things. It's about being outside with nature for me. I love catching big carp. I don't particularly like not catching anything, but you have to learn from not catching to change things around to hopefully next time you will catch something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few tips and hints, and hopefully they will put you a few extra fish on the bank in the future. This is one of the rigs that I'm using, only on one of the rods, because the spot that I'm fishing to the left by the island is very, very weedy. This is just a naked choddy. It's quite an aggressive curve on the rig, which means hooking the fish is a lot more beneficial than a straight rig. But the fact that it free runs on the line, you can see that. So on the cast, the rig has flown up the line to the top bead, the lead goes into the weed, and the rig gently settles down on top of any weed or any debris on the bottom. Now, the colour of the hook bait is important. I like to use a fluoro pop-up over what I'm feeding. I'm feeding monster tiger nut, but I like to use pinks or oranges or whites, and I work on the assumption it's the curiosity factor from the carp. Now you can see here I've dotted some of the tiger nut boilies on the floor. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the hook bait in there. Now that is the scenario I'm trying to work on under the water. You know, you've got a lot of attraction with the actual bottom baits, the tiger nut, but you've got the visual attraction of the bright pink squid and octopus hook bait. So I work on the fact that they go for that over and above eating everything first. So it's the curiosity thing that I think gets me more bites. Right, here's a first. I've actually got hold of a camera. Now, we're using this little underwater camera to hopefully show you the scenario I was talking about with the baiting pattern on the bank. Now that's quite wide, and you can clearly see the scattered tiger nut hook baits there on the bottom, but you can also really see the pink one that's hovering just above them. Now you can see how critically balanced that pop-up is. Now if anything so much as breathes near that, it flies up and hooks them. But you can see how it stands out, not just on the bottom, but also amongst the freebies that have actually dropped into the margins. Right, on first inspection, this just looks like two bank sticks stuck in the ground, but they're actually a rod length apart. Now a rod length is 4 yards. Now all I'm doing is, obviously, when you found a spot with a bare lead, which is what this is, you can wrap it round here. You've put it in the line clip basically, because you found a spot that you're happy with. And you pace it out round the bank sticks until it hits the line clip. There. That's 10.5, which is 42 yards, because I know that one length is 4 yards. So all you now do is you get your fishing rod with your rig and you pace it out 10.5 times around the sticks, put it in the line clip and get it bang on the same spot. So you've done away with your marker rod and a marker float, loads of disturbance, and it's the perfect way of being all self-contained on the bank without causing any unnecessary disturbance with leads and splashing about in the water. Right, we've paced it out around the bank sticks, and it's exactly right by the margin over there. Now it's a quiet little bay, this up against the island, and I'm sure the fish are in and out this thick weed. They're not out in the main lake, so they've got to be hiding somewhere. So we've got it clipped up, let's get it out there and try and get a bite. Perfect. Right, we're just going to show you the problems that not just me, with the whole load of weed there that I raked out, but everybody is faced with on a lot of different lakes around the country. You're going to have to be quick because it's clouding up. That is obviously the thick Canadian that people are faced with. And you've either got you can't always have the luxury of raking out a swim. So you've got to find a way of adapting and fishing in or around it. Now that's either a solid bag or the rig that I've shown you, which is the choddy, which obviously you can see would just sit right on top of all of that weed. and give you the perfect presentation. But if you were to put a standard bottom bait in that with a lead clip, it would be buried and you wouldn't stand a chance. So it's about being adaptable, and rather than being too scared of the weed, just learning how to fish in and around it. Well, as you can see, we've changed swims and I felt a bit hemmed in where I was, and at least I've seen a couple of fish here, so the move hopefully is going to pay off. So a bit change of tactics, using a little inline lead with a tiny little pop-up. There's the kind of rig, and it's all enclosed in a little PVA solid bag, so no tangles, perfect presentation. All 3 rods are out on the spot. So I'm here for another couple of nights, so whether you're going out for 2 hours, 4 hours or 3 nights, as long as you enjoy it, I'm enjoying every minute of it, and I will continue to do so forevermore.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Fishing World. Join us next month for all the tips and tricks you can handle from the world of angling. I'm Chris Sanford, and I'll see you next time.
That's a nice fish.
Beautiful Abington rainbow. Ha ha!
Stunning pike. Look at that.